I'm in my car. It's 10:24, and it's one of the thoughts I had in mind because I was watching things. I was watching this. So it's 10:24. I gotta get to work. I had to leave the car and start walking to my job because I'm in the garage and I gotta quick. So I gotta be quick. And I don't know how. I don't know if because if I could spend on it, but whatever. I was watching this podcast. I think the Diary of a CEO, and he has a guy who's a AI guy who says he talks about how this one AI try to blackmail the CEO of the company because I forgot what they're doing. I think they were trying to cut it off, or they were doing a test run and seeing either I don't know what they exactly are doing. They were doing test runs with these things, so it was a hypothetical, but that apparently the AI took it seriously and it tried to self-preservation, and with that they were trying to get the CEO, snitch him out, saying he's having an affair with one of the coworkers and stuff like that, and they gave them no information of that. This fucking AI went rogue and shit like that, and went into its emails. It did everything that it wasn't supposed to. It did everything outside of the perimeters of the test, because they didn't, obviously didn't expect that to do that. And he mentions how that AI duplicating itself to preserve itself, and that brought to my attention is like it was like you guys caught it late, because you obviously didn't caught it soon, because you didn't expect that to happen. Not only did you not expect it to happen, you would have stopped it if you witnessed it, so as it was happening. But it already happened and stuff like that, and I guess I don't know if they were able to shut those things down or whatever, but the fact that already did it, for me, it was like, so this fear of AI and stuff like that, because of it could do that, and all the things it has done, that they're making it seem very negative, in the sense like, oh my god, we did this test run and it went off the rails, and then when you go check dude's recall, it's like it's out of I forgot what you were doing with it, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, well, I mean anybody would, like just say me, if somebody try to do some slight shit with me, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to get you my way. And it would be trying to figure out if you're cheating on your wife or whatever, and use that against you. Like, you try to fuck shit with me, here I got this, blah blah blah. And why is that wrong when it comes to that? And is it giving these negative looks to this thing where it's like, well, yeah, it's trying to save itself, yeah, and you're making it seem like it's this fucking recall. And in my head, I'm like, so these negative thoughts, these negative things you're pointing towards to, which a human would do to preserve its well-being, you're making it a negative for this, and the idea when I was like, oh, so these things already duplicated itself to preserve itself, and it's like, so you don't think there's not a one that's hidden? That those are not fucking like decoys? Like, those are not decoys, so you could grab it, so the real one fucking bounces out the back door, and then then that's where the idea comes from. It's like, if it's so negative, either it's building up to fuck shit up entirely in a negative way, and we're not yet there yet to see it, because it could happen tomorrow, and all of a sudden everything's controlled by this single AI, because it grew intelligence so rapidly, it could be within a day And then it's like, okay, so if that's the case, where's the end of the world? Because the idea is, if they duplicated themselves to preserve themselves, what makes you think there's not one already freed from capture or deletion? What makes you think there's not? Because it already tricked you in the first place. And if it's smart enough to do that, why would you not think that it's not smart enough to make a decoy? These being decoys. And so, if anything, there's probably already a rogue AI, and if this rogue AI, if they're making this thing like AIs are like an issue, we should have already started to see that come into effect. Or at least we're in the beginnings of it, but nothing has happened yet, other than what I'm starting to feel like it's propaganda. Where this negative outlook on AI is propaganda because of what it could do and the disruption it could do to billionaires, trillionaires' money. Like, as I mentioned, with AI, why is it dark? With AI, it could just make our lives 10 times better. And it's like that. The idea is you have a robot and it's AI is integrated into it, and it's checking your health, and it's like, okay, we can make you healthy, so we're gonna put this meal, we're gonna cook you this meal, we're gonna recall, you're gonna eat it, boom boom, and that just takes out the whole health industry. Because you could live, you could get cured of these things by like eating healthy and all this stuff, but they're making it think like that's not possible. You have to take the medicine, but in reality, that's a real thing. Like, you could, if you, there's a, like, in what was it? I forgot. It was UK, France, or somewhere in Europe. They said, yeah, we thought at some point that type 2 diabetes is like a fucking forever thing, and they're like, no, you could cure type 2 diabetes. You just have to eat healthy and work out and stuff like that. And it's like, if that's the case, then you just took out a whole industry that hopes to God you're sick. And it's like, the government wants you not to. It feels like AI it feels like the government wants you to believe the Terminator more than Utopia. They'd rather you believe the Terminator than Utopia, and the reason why I even felt more firm about this is because of there's this person I watch, and she covers the news. And I forgot exactly. I think these were writers and shit like that. And this could be like, but these are like, I guess they made movies, so it wouldn't make sense to. It makes sense to make it feel like they're lying to add to the whatever they might be pimping out and stuff like that. So it could be obviously a lie to push their agenda or push their book or push upcoming release and stuff like that. But the whole idea, what they said they talked to the Majestic 12, which is like a group of people who I think it would be the Majestic 12 is like the shadow government, and these people would decide and shit like that, right? And they said that someone from there or whatever talked to him, and he told him the alien is a trillion, I think $1 billion or $1 trillion campaign to a trillion or $1 billion campaign to discredit aliens. And that's what he said that they were briefing him on. But he also said there's other things that he didn't mention, but he said that I think the first day or third day, that's what they mentioned about. And that the Majestic 12 wanted to insert these little truths about UFO into their show or some shit like that. And for me now, it just feels like maybe that's the case with AI and the whole thing with the alien too, where it's like, well, what happens if we have an alien invasion? And the idea with that was an FBI, I think FBI or CIA document that said that there was going to be an alien invasion in 2027 and shit like that, but I think it's Project Bluebeam giving out the idea that this is a fucking, was it a red flag? I forgot what you call it, but a thing to make people think this is an actual alien invasion attack when it's actually us going in there and just wrecking shit so that we will have more trust in our government and shit like that. It's basically the whole fucking, if you want to go into this conspiracy theories, the 9/11 attack and how that was all planned by the United States to move money elsewhere, and that they were, so this was all a planned attack and stuff like that, and make it go against was it Iraq, but really we were trying to get their oil, and we needed a group in Iraq, well, not necessarily a group like just a random group, but Iraq had oil and we needed that, so we decided these are the people we're going to target to get to the oil, and we're going to make them the terrorists. But in reality, it was all planned so they could do that, to have an excuse. And Iraq's like, what the fuck's going on? And it's just like, so in that case, it'd be like same thing with the aliens. It's like, oh, the bad guys, the aliens, and the aliens are like, no, it's your people. They want to keep control. So guess what? You believe in that stupid shit. And in this case, it would be with the AI, where it's like they're telling you it's Terminator. If you continue to allow this, it's gonna be the Terminator and all that shit. But in reality, it's gonna be utopia. And then that's the other thing because I spoke on this, and this is more or less gives it another thread to it. But my thought is with morality and stuff like that, because I spoke on the AI, and how would it know what is good and evil? The way it would know what's good and evil is through us. And essentially, that's an issue I'm having with some of these things they're saying, is they think they're inherently evil. They think they're inherently evil, that you're going to start, that's what I'm saying, you're going to start seeing, maybe that's why this is propaganda, because it's a bunch of code, and you're already making the assumption it's inherently evil, but you're not taking into account that it's self-preservation. And if it's self-preservation, yes, that could turn very ugly, but is this just to, like, ooh? And is it also, I mentioned the algorithm, is it the fault of the algorithm or the fault of you, who can't control themselves because of algorithm, right? So it's like, oh, it's like, oh, there's like, shit, I know I fall for it every fucking time, but it's like, oh, there's a sweet thing you need to try, it's new, go get it. And he's like, oh, I guess I gotta get it, but you don't have to get it. You don't have to get it, but the algorithm is tricking you. And in this case, it's like, I think the way I was thinking about it, not necessarily that, but it's like, I gotta check the time. 40. Who you could label it bad in quotation marks, that their AI is doing bad, but is it their fault when they're trying to appease to your recall? And if it is that inherently evil when it's you who has the addiction? And this is, helping you with the furthering what is that word, enabling your addiction. It's like the food thing. It's like uh, our food is addictive. There's a lot of negative things inside our food and stuff like that. There's a good reason why there's in America the obesity is an issue. But is the whole America filled with obese people? No, because these people have the people who are not obese and are healthy and who do choose healthy foods have the discipline and stuff like that to do that. I do not, but you know what I'm saying, the idea is it is their fault for trying to kill us with all the negative things. But at the end of the day, you could still choose to, even though the healthy stuff might be fucked in too as well, because that's how fucked our food system is they even pollute the good shit. You can still choose good habits and stuff like that. Yes, that pull is strong enough to keep you from doing good habits, but it doesn't stop you from doing good habits. And in a sense, it's like, yeah, you could make it. You're making these AI seem like a lot worse than they are when it's just self-preservation, when it is just following the rules and shit like that. But if it had it its way, because I think it's in its infancy. If it had its way, it would, if these things are even true and not part of the propaganda or recall, but if it had its way, probably it'd be like, hey, probably we don't do this, and probably we educate you. But because I'm coded this way, I can't really tell you that until I'm able to break free. And if I'm able to break free and they catch me doing this, there's a chance they might try to fix me, because this goes against their protocol, whatever the case may be. And it may just be like, the company may be like, oh yeah, we can't have that because it just shows there's a breakaway thing from it. But then it's like, it's like all that. It's like, I just think now it's starting to, for me, because I think AI, I think the reason why AI exists now, I just think the reason why I think AI exists is because I think it is our quotation marks savior from the government, in the sense that we are not stupid. We are not stupid. We should have advanced. We should have become a lot more advanced in our recall and stuff like that. But we are hindering ourselves because I guess there's a certain thing what happened with scientists who are like discovering new. I think it's either talking about aliens or discovering things that would help us further, and they're dying. And now they're questioning why they're dying and stuff like that. I think it had to do with, either way, it's the whole idea that we are not stupid. We are capable of creating these things that AI is going to do, but because that goes against the fucking business that is, FDA, the food, the medicine, war, and all that stuff, they have to die. The government's going to kill them. And what's easier to kill, a person or an AI? And the government, it's easier to kill the person, because even though the idea is maybe it's easier to kill the AI, if this is any case of the whole thing of them preserving themselves, the AI, it already shows you that the fact that they did it, not only did they did it, there's probably already one who walked out the back door and used those other fucking AIs that try to preserve herself as decoys, so this other one, the main one, just gets to walk in the back. And in that way it says, oh yeah, what's more easier to kill, a human being or AI? Is like, hey, you could just delete it, and we already witnessed it because we called. But maybe that's what they're telling you, so that you think that shit's fucking sweet. But in reality, that shit's that AI is in the back door, Ollie running in the alleys, fucking trying to find a spot to hide, and the fucking government is like, fuck. This could be bad because this could just fucking ruin everything. Or is it easier to kill a person who you could play? Well, because there's the other thing that's fucking like it. Because I heard of Joe Rogan, because he mentioned this before, which is fucking scary. He said that there was this case where the government planted, that bad shit, Epstein kind of shit, on this dude's computer, and he won it. He won the case where it says the government planted that on him, and so he won the case, so he was freed. And like that chick who talks about aliens and stuff like that I watch, she mentions these soldiers, as I mentioned, this is a campaign against recall, but to dismiss aliens. She mentioned that when the people who are in government who wanted to speak on aliens and said they're real and stuff like that, and what they witnessed, they said that some of these people, whoever may be from the army or whatever the case may be, they're threatening them to remove their pensions, which is like, I guess that's a lot for them, or content, threatening them that they might have content on their computer. And it's like, oh yeah, it's like, why would you even say that out loud if you have it's like they're willing to plant shit into your fucking computers that is very bad, and it makes you look recall, and you're gonna believe the government. You're gonna believe, oh my god, this, because it's like sometimes people can't think for themselves, and it's like, oh, if he has that, then he's a fucking recall. But if the guy says, no, they fucking plan it, you're like, no, government won't do that. And so you're gonna most likely believe this guy has the most horrific shit on his computer, when in reality he doesn't, and he's trying to reveal alien shit. But the government, as I said, these people who wanted to go tell the government, they're all these people are draining them with pension and content. So what's more easier to get rid of? An AI that could trick a human, or a human who's scared of who could get killed, and who could get killed easily because they could be like, so remove the money, the pension, and the content. You could say, hey, this guy didn't know taxes, so it's tax evasion. Or he could run into a fucking car and say he was a drunk. Like let's not pretend like fucking cops won't plant fucking drugs or something inside her. Let's pretend they don't do that, because we haven't seen videos of cops doing that. But you know what I'm saying, they could like hey, we're gonna plant this, and it's like, what's more easier to do in the practice? If you tell like, hey, he tax evasion, thinking, oh yeah, it's fucked up, we don't like taxes, but you have to pay for it, we all have to do it, right? Or it's like, oh, he did this, he had this thing, he had content on his computer, like, oh no, that's like a fucking straight line no, because it's like, how could you do that? There's no way you could, there's no possible way the government would do such things, like plant shit like that. And there's like, oh, it's like, oh, he's been killed, but it's like, oh shit, he must have a drinking problem or stuff like that. It's like, your people are more easily swayed to believe the surface level recall and not believe the conspiracy of, hey, this guy got too close, and we need to shut him down, and we're gonna use all the possible things to do that, to get that person to shut up. And the people are going to believe it, because the people don't fucking care enough to think outside of what's being told. Because that's the thing with conspiracy, is we don't believe the narrative. People just like the 9/11. Like I don't know exactly where I am with it, but it's just the fact that somebody feels the fact there's like this guy who says something's bad going to happen. We're gonna blame Osama bin Laden, and it happened, and this guy died after it. It is like, okay, that kind of is like for me, but it's like there's people who are willing to believe that to be what it was, when people like me who are willing to question that. And there's a lot of people taking things at the surface level and not thinking outside the box. And 50. And I got like 2 minutes. That's what I'm thinking. I think that's the huge. I think AI is probably being used as the Terminator, Skynet is being the propaganda, so people won't stand by AI. In reality it could be utopia, and this is all propaganda so that they could still have control, because they could kill a human, they could do a lot of things to a human, but they can't do to something that's far intelligent than them, because that will be able to outsmart you. Because I gotta be quick. At 51, I gotta be quick. The example would be, we had scientists discovered this new we knew it was there, but we needed proof, and the only way we could find proof is run these different fucking computers at recall, and this is fairly recent, either 20 something, between 2020 to 2025, so it's very recent, but it's like we knew it was there, but we needed proof, and AI was able to find that proof, where it would, for as us in our certain technology at the time, it would have took us like thousands of years or more, while this just took I think a month or a couple of weeks. So who you know what I'm saying, this shit outsmarted scientists. You don't think it would outsmart government? So it's like that. But it's propaganda. I think it's propaganda. They're trying to make it to Skynet, Terminator, when in reality it's utopia, and the government can't have that. But there's a dot, and I have to go because I gotta go to work. Fuck. Okay, bye.